In this video, I'm going to talk about 9 books that are on my radar, either that I'm currently reading or that I'm about to read in the coming weeks. Let's jump right in with the 2 current books that I'm reading right now. Starting with Cormac McCarthy's The Crossing. This is the second novel in the Border trilogy. I'm only about 100 pages in, but what I'm following right now is a 16-year-old boy who has trapped a wolf, doesn't want to kill the wolf, so he's taking it across the Mexico border to try to release it back to the wild. It kind of reminds me of a side quest you'd see in Red Dead Redemption or something. It's the most I've ever enjoyed a Cormac McCarthy novel. I won't do a full review or breakdown on all these, but that's The Crossing. Next is Butcher's Crossing. I'm actually not rereading this with my eyeballs, I'm listening to it, and this is only the second audiobook I think I've ever listened to. But the film comes out for Butcher's Crossing in October, so I wanted to experience the story again, but I'm in the middle of this, and I don't always do great with reading 2 novels at the same time like that with my eyes. I slow down on both, and it takes too long, so I just got the audiobook for this one. For this, picture Blood Meridian and Moby Dick, that kind of thing, but set in the world of buffalo hunting. Lighter is not the right word, but it's less dark and nihilistic than Blood Meridian. Essentially, in this, you have someone from Harvard drop out of school to go learn about living like a man and living off the land and hunting and all of that. And he gets caught up in this Captain Ahab type situation with buffalo hunters. It also reminds me of The Sea Wolf by Jack London in a lot of ways. Next is what I call like a pocket book. This is not something I'm going to read cover to cover again right now, but I like to have a book that I can just kind of slip in my back pocket if I'm going on a hike, going to the park, going on a walk, whatever. So this is going to be a book I just flip open and read passages from here and there. This is a great book by Louis L'Amour. It's non-fiction, it's kind of a memoir, but it's ultimately about his philosophy of learning and education. And honestly, it's a good companion with Butcher's Crossing as well, because same type of thing. It's going against sort of the sit and listen education that you get at Harvard type of thing, and more of what Louis L'Amour is saying and what you see in Butcher's Crossing. It's about lived experience. It's about meeting people, picking up knowledge through your lifetime. Next is Mark Cameron's Open Carry. He's one of the guys I like to study. I sit back and I'm in awe at how this man writes in the thriller genre. In Retaliation Mountain, there's a scene with tracking. This is the guy who does tracking better than anybody. He's who I turn to learn all that. He puts in the smallest details that leave the biggest impact. Not much to say, this is just a fantastic thriller set in Alaska with a tracker. Alright, next is Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Mostly because I've never read an Agatha Christie novel, and I feel like maybe that's a sin, maybe that's illegal even. Someone might come to my house and beat me down if I don't get to an Agatha Christie soon, so I figured fall, October, Haunting in Venice is coming out. Maybe this is the perfect time to jump into an Agatha Christie novel, so I'm excited to see what I can learn from this experience reading this. Same kind of deal with this next one. I've just never read a David Baldacci novel, so I picked up David Baldacci's Dreamtown after seeing him speak at BoucherCon and being just blown away with how much wisdom he had within him and how much I learned from his just 45-minute interview, I think. The guy filled up pages and pages in my notebook, so I thought, okay, I gotta try one of his novels. I gotta see what I can glean from this. So this is Dreamtown. I picked it up because I like noir stories. I like that type of detective thing, Marlowe. Big Sleep is one of my favorites, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh man, this next one. This will be a reread for me. Got a signed copy of It Dies With You from BoucherCon from Scott Blackburn. Now this novel, it's about a boxer who gets suspended, finds out his father has died and has left him a junkyard, a scrapyard. I call this novel a near perfect novel, and I mean that. The prose in this, there's something about his prose style, it's something about his writing. It's so crisp and neat and clean, but it's not sterile in any sense. It's so sort of unique and individual to Scott Blackburn. Like, I feel like if I picked up any book off the shelf and it was a Scott Blackburn, this is his only one for now. But if I just picked up any book and it was his writing in it, I could see that it was him. Yeah, I don't know. I could ramble for a long time on this one. Maybe I'll do a whole video review after I reread it. Alright, next one I have here is Don't Know Tough, and I don't know much about this book. All I know is Eli Craner was another one I heard speak at BoucherCon, and I was blown away with his philosophies. I loved the way his mind thought about writing and about life. And also from Scott Blackburn himself and some other people I met at BoucherCon, I heard nothing but fantastic things about Eli Craner. I've heard nothing but incredible things about his debut novel, Don't Know Tough. So I'm just very excited to dive into this one. Alright, last but not least, novel on my radar right now is Killing Evil by Jake Widmer. This is the sequel to Homecoming. If you haven't picked up Homecoming, his first novel, go ahead and do that on Amazon. I'm excited that I got this art copy from Jake. Thank you very much. I'm going to dive into this. It's the second Chris Foley thriller. Chris Foley being former 10th Mountain Division soldier, comes back to Pittsburgh, finds a very different Pittsburgh than he left behind, and I like the way Jake does action. I like the way he does character drama within his thrillers, so I'm excited to see what we got here. And that's it. Those are kind of the 9 novels that are on my radar. I'm not going to read all of these in October and September, like not a chance. I'm a very slow reader. I'm probably just going to see which ones are speaking to me most, and I'm going to pick one up, and I'll probably read about 3 of these. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully you got like a book recommendation or 2 out of it. I'll see you guys in the next one.